am Sue Webley. Welcome to another episode of Inspire. Good morning. Welcome. Happy Pride. Happy Black Music History Month and happy 4th year anniversary to Inspire. I'm so excited to be with you this morning. I'm excited about my dear friend, my guest, who's coming a little bit later. But I see you coming in, and I just want to say good morning to you. Thank you, Bishop Bonnie and Louis Mega Pro. Thank you. Somebody join me from Twitch. Okay, thank you. Good morning. As you come in, do me a big favor and share this episode out to your friends and your family. Tell them to come on over and hang out with us this Saturday morning. If you just stumbled upon this broadcast, you don't know who I am. I'm your host, Sue A. Webley. I'm an author, producer, minister, and entrepreneur, and I believe in the power of words, of wisdom and witness, and that's exactly what Inspire is all about. When I started Inspire four years ago this month, it was for a media class project. I had been doing producing other people's video podcasts and stuff like that. And I was like, why don't I have my own thing? Hey, girl. And so it was natural to me. Some of you know me way back from Sable Magazine. And so I just want to shout out all of you who were hanging with me in Sable Magazine. We ran for like 8 years, and it was the first e-magazine of its kind when we came out. And so this is the natural progression. Hey, Lakeisha, this is the natural progression of Sable Magazine. I've been thinking about bringing it back. I don't know. Well, I might bring it back under Inspire and not Sable, but yeah, if you're out there and you were hanging out with me on Sable Magazine back in the day, we had some fights. We had a whole lot of fights up in those chats, right? But we also had some really, really good times, and I am still connected to people from way back then. Like, people are still saying, "Hey, Sable." And I appreciate it. But I'm here to talk about Inspire. Every morning at 10 o'clock Eastern, we host space for honest and soulful and often transformative conversations with guests from all walks of life: entrepreneurs, artists, thought leaders, creatives, organizers, everyday people who are living boldly and authentically. We explore topics that matter, from mental health and identity to faith, business, justice, creativity, and healing. So whether we're spotlighting a community leader or celebrating someone's personal triumphs, Inspire is rooted in the power of story and the belief that when we speak our truth, we light the way for others. I want to invite you to connect with us. Connect, follow, like, and subscribe. We are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at Inspire with Sue W. If you have been following me on my personal page and Cara Solutions LLC, thank you. I appreciate that. We are building up the Inspire with Sue W platform, so I'm going to invite you to follow me on those platforms as well. You could also head over to our website at www.getinspired.live. There you can watch all of our previous episodes. You can find out a little bit more about the show, and you can subscribe to our newsletter because guess what? We don't want you to miss anything that's coming up with Inspire. So if you're old here, you know what I'm getting ready to ask. And if you're new here, I hope you have something in your cup. What are you sipping on this morning? Now, y'all know I'm a coffee girl. I'm take a sip. Yeah, I know I'm a coffee girl. Okay. Always have coffee in my cup. I love coffee. Coffee doesn't really love me, so it is decaf. Don't come for me because people used to come for this decaf, right? Listen, my brain thinks it's real, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. But what are you sipping on this morning as you're joining me so early? If you're hailing from the West Coast, good morning to you. Thank you for hanging out with me. Listen, it is 7-Eleven on the West Coast. So if you're here with me this morning, I know that you love me. And it is 9-11 in the Midwest. And so if you are here with me, I know that you love me. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me know what you're sipping on. Let me know where you're watching from and what you're sipping on. Okay, so is it water? Is it tea? Is it coffee like me? Is it a smoothie? Listen, if it's something stronger, I'm not judging you. I might be on vacation with that unlimited, everything unlimited. Right? You right. Listen, I am not judging you this morning. But yeah, do me a favor. Let me know where you're watching from. Tell me what you're sipping on and share this out. Share this out because I'm very excited to get. Hi, Minister Sandy. Listen, the people are drinking water. Come on. Yeah, I know. Look, I'm not going to show the name because I'm not getting advertising coins, but I do have a bottle of water right here. So yeah, and there's also water in my coffee. Yeah. So as we gather today with Dr. DANI and Dr. DANI Matthews, she a dear friend of mine. When you come on, you could tell the people like how far we go back because it's a then I'm gonna age myself because it's been a while. It's been a minute, right? Go way back. Let me get ready to meet her, but I just want to name the kind of month we're stepping into. So I opened up with Happy Pride and Happy Black Music History Month. But now this conversation in particular, I'm grateful that we're kicking off this month with Dr. DANI. And this year, if you know the political climate, pretty much if we are out there celebrating Pride, if we are out there celebrating Black joy, Black resistance, but listen, there are acts of resistance, right, and remembrance in a country that is working very hard to forget some of us on purpose. And so right now across the United States, we are watching a wave of laws and policies aimed at queer and trans people, especially our young people. We're seeing attempts to control whose pronouns can be used, whose names can be honored, which bathrooms can be entered, which teams can be played on. We're seeing efforts to shut down diversity and equity. They have been shut down, right? A lot of, 26,000? Black women lost their jobs so far. No, it's more than that. It's more than that because it was 30,000. So it's more than that. If somebody has a number, please drop it in the chat. So many of our siblings have lost jobs because they were heads of diversity and inclusion departments, and the dismantling of that caused them to lose their jobs. But those jobs and those ways of being, right, we're trying to correct like generations of harm, right? And so for us to stand here today fully in our Blackness, fully in our queerness, it is an act of resistance. It is an act of resistance. And so I am grateful that we have this platform. I want you to know that if you are LGBTQ plus and you don't have anybody or you're feeling alone, listen, we are here for you. drop me in the chat. You can hit me up privately if you just want to talk. I just want to let you know that I am here for you. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. And I know that Dr. Danny will say the same thing. So you know what? I'm just going to bring you on, Dr. Danny. I'm not even I'm going to go forego like, you're not a stranger here. Okay.
Thank you, sister. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Grand Rising, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sue, for having me. First of all, I'm prided out today. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Wait a minute. I would show you my socks. If I get that leg up. There you go.
Wait a minute.
Socks. Oh, dang. That hurt. No, but
you're going to pay for that later.
Hey, listen, let me just say something to you. First of all, again, Grand Rising to everyone. Happy Pride. And I don't say that lightly. This time last year, I was recovering from a stroke. So me pulling that leg up like that with my left hand and my left leg could not have been done at this time last year. I was on a walker. And when I tell you, I don't care what nobody tell you about God and God's love, okay? I know for a fact, if you're out there, or if you come across this replay and you're struggling right now with your spirit and your flesh, let's just say, oh, I'm gay, but God doesn't love me if I'm gay. That's a lie. And don't let nobody tell you that. I could not walk. I could not talk. They wouldn't feed me for 6 days. I laid up in a rehab for a month being taught how to walk again. So yes, God does love me, even me, just the way I am. And so does he love you. So don't let nobody tell you nothing different. And if they do, bye-bye. Can a goodbye help? Because all of that you saying, bye-bye. But hey, Sue, how you doing, baby?
Hey, friend. Listen, congratulations on this honorary doctorate that you got. Like, I want to know all about that.
Oh my God, it's been these last 2 years have been eventful. Some good, some not so good, but all things work for the good, right? That's what I say. All things are working for my good, right? It's intentional, right? God wants me to go through some things because he wants me to know how it feels to be at the bottom, because every time I fell down, he broke me up higher the very next time. When I came through it, I went to the next level in something that he had blessed me with in my life. After the stroke came, oh boy, I'm gonna throw it on the floor, but I'm gonna get it because I gotta read from it. Came volume 2 of the book. A month after that, 2 months out from the stroke, came the documentary of Harlem, The Making of the Monster. Yes, volume 2 came out. Just last month in May, I was recognized with my honorary doctorate in humanities and humanitarian studies. And the work that I've done and the blessing about long-term relationships, Sue, you and I go back. I'm not going to put a date and a number on it, but it's several decades we go back. And I remember before Sable magazine.
Yes,
how about that?
Yeah. Absolutely. Before Sable.
Ooh, I remember us sitting in Wells Chicken and Waffles listening to Freddie Jackson sing live after coming from the church, Oasis of Love on 133rd Street between Lemons and 7th Avenue. Okay. So, and if anybody out there knows that time period, they know how far me and Sue go back. And I'm so grateful. But yeah, it's just so many wonderful things that have gone on. The story continues, as I told you guys, in 2024. This little light of mine called Pretty Little Bastard Child, right? That was volume 1. That is volume 1 because it's still selling and people are buying them together. I'm gonna let it shine. I am the Pretty Little Bastard Child. It's now a brand. It's now my LLC is based around it. my tagline, I'm waiting for them to send me back my trademark on it, which is your trauma's not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. I mean, it's just so many things that God has put into this little black child who was born in Harlem in the 60s to trauma and to very, very lost parents. Um, but how you start life, the blessing is that that's not how it has to go. That's not how it has to end. That's not the end of your story. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
grateful for
yeah.
that. Grateful.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I see you, Dr. Renee, my other day sibling that goes way. You see her, right? Talking about
Yeah,
that. That's way. We go way back.
way, way back. Hey, Dr. Renee.
So you did mention Pretty Little Bastard Child, and so when you were here 2 years ago, I mean that book itself. I mean, it still continues. It's incredibly raw,
Uh-huh.
right, and transparent. And you put some things on those pages that many people would take to their grave. And so, what made you decide that you're not done? That you needed to write Searching, right? It's called, the full title is Searching, Memoir of a Runaway Child Running Wild.
Mhm,
And so, what made you decide to write this, and
mhm,
what kind of story does this volume, which is volume two, tell
mhm.
that the first book could not?
Okay. Um, well, first of all, transparency moment. All three books are full of certain traumas. So let me
Mm,
just put that disclaimer out there. Um, I have lived a life that most people would not have survived. And I realize how blessed I am, truly. And I know that because most of my friends that I grew up with are dead or in jail for life,
mhm,
or, they're so whacked out here that they're not going to come back. You know what I'm saying? So I realize how blessed I am. But trust me, the road to redemption is never a straight path. But for my own sanity, I had to
mm,
break it up in small parts. Um, the blessing of each part of the trilogy is that towards the end of the book, you see the person or people that God put in my life to give me that thing that my mother wasn't nurturing me with, to give me that guidance, to be that guardian angel that I needed at that time to bring me to the place where God would have me to go, because I had given up on life like way, way back in volume one. I didn't want to live anymore. And Miss Greenleaf brought me through that. The love that she showed, the nurturing. There's another guardian angel in this book, and she just recently passed on, and I
mm,
love
mhm,
her,
mhm.
Alice. And you got to buy the book and read the story, and then there's a couple of more leading me back to that place of resilience. But yeah, I had to continue the story because my life didn't end at 11. My life didn't end at 12.
Mm, mhm,
I
mhm,
continued to live, and I continued to face traumas, and life continued to life, and there were some ebbs and flows, so I had to break it up. And my
mm,
life doesn't end at 16, 17, 18. I think we're not even quite going into my 18th birthday is kind of like where this one lets off. So, and there was a life after that. So I'm gonna take you to the place where the healing truly began, and that will be
mm.
at the end of the trilogy. Because there's a part three coming out the end of the year.
Listen, I know this part three, and I noticed that this issue is much thicker.
I think part
I think
one
it's
was more
twice the
like yes,
size.
yeah, it is, and the reason for that is whew, part one uncovered a lot of stuff that I was able to address in part two. But part one was more like that was the iceberg of the healing,
Mhm, mhm,
the journey or people in recovery. That was the fourth step to the little girl in me, and so, you know, and then I admitted to God, to myself, another human being, the exact nature of my wrongs, and stuff like that. That was, whew, it was rough. It was rough. I even went back to therapy after writing volume one.
oh
So
wow. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I'm really intrigued by the subtitle, which is Memoir of a Runaway Child Running
Running wild.
Wild. That phrase is, yeah, I mean, that
And it's literal. It's
impacted me.
literal. When you go through the
Yeah.
book, you'll see it's literal because
Hmm.
there's a runaway section in there. I was the runaway, and
Hmm.
anytime I could get to disappear and get away from, and in more ways than one, not just running away from my physical house, but running away from my
Yeah.
emotional house, running away from my mental house, running
Yeah.
away from my spiritual house, my chakras, everything. I was running away from it because I was searching.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
in searching, I didn't even know at one point what I was looking for, but I just knew it was something better. It was
Yeah.
something greater than what I was going through. That was not my fault, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Before I ask the next question, I did not talk to you about this beforehand, but would you be willing to give away one of the copies of the book,
I'm
either the
going,
first one or
you
this
know, I
one?
don't come with hand closed. You know, listen. We even giving away a T-shirt.
Uh oh.
Come
Uh
on now.
oh.
We giving away a copy of the book. We giving away a Pretty Little Bastard Child T-shirt. That's the front
Okay.
and the back. Y'all see it? Y'all see it? Y'all see it? Okay. Trauma's not your fault. But your healing's your responsibility. I'm giving away a a a a pack, a a brand pack, which will be the new book and the new style T-shirt also. So
Mm.
absolutely.
All
Mhm.
right. Well, you heard Dr. Danny. So if you want a copy of the book, if you want that pack with the T-shirt and the book and everything in
Mhm.
it, please put hashtag inspire. Hashtag
Mhm.
inspire. Put that in the chat. And then as we end our time together today, we're going to do a drawing
Mhm.
and see who wins. Hashtag inspire. I will repeat that again for those of you who might be coming in a little later. Throw that up in the chat, and we'll do a drawing for you to win uh, this package that Dr. Dan so graciously has agreed to give away.
Yeah.
So when you think about that younger version of yourself, when you think about the runaway child,
Mhm.
um, what do you think she was running toward? Like in the first book, I can imagine what she was running away from,
Mhm.
right? And you can speak to that if you would like to, but
Mhm.
I also want to know what does she think at that time she was running toward?
Okay. I'm glad you asked that. Um, I wrote a song, and those of you who know me before I actually stepped out on becoming a author, um, I was a songwriter, and I had a successful music career back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote a song, "Mama's Love," right? Mama's love, it keeps me going strong, right? But it was in the second verses. If I knew then what I know now, I would have done the best I could to give you all the hugs, all the kisses that a loving daughter should. I say I love you, mama, 1,000 times a day to save up for the day you went away. I thought there was no love at all. So I was running away from my mother. But the key word in there is love. I was looking for love. And see, a lot of people, I don't need nobody. I don't want nobody. I'm good. I'm good. I'll
Mm-hmm.
handle this. I'm good, right? Especially LGBT, masculine, effective women, right? We have this tendency because of either hurt, pain, or just, that's the role that they take on, that they're so hard and they're so tough. Um, the streets hardened me. And I'm gonna say that for real, for real. Before I found my voice, I was a very loving, very caring little girl. I took care of
Mm-hmm.
little animals. I wanted to be a veterinarian. I was, you know, uh, uh, voted the best to succeed. All of that stuff until the trauma from volume one took that innocence away from me, and then I became hardened, right? So but I knew that there was something more out there. I just didn't know what. And as I wrote the book, and as I started on my healing journey, what I realized is I just wanted somebody to love me. I wanted somebody to tell me I was okay. I wanted somebody to help, with the confusion that was going on in my mind. I knew that I was a different child. I just didn't have anybody to talk to about it. And back in the 60s and 70s, you didn't have a lot of gay people that were out. So that confusion, then coming into from my adolescent to teen years, the tween years, that confusion, the
Yeah.
rites of passage confusion, and then seeing my mother, who had an insatiable diet for the opposite sex, um, and hearing society's voice in one ear, oh, that's wrong, you shouldn't do that, da 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 da, but knowing how I felt inside,
Mhm.
I was running to find it. I needed to find it. What and at that time, I don't even think I knew what it was.
Mm.
But what I realized later on was I just wanted somebody to love me,
Wow.
man. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you. If you're just joining us, we are in conversation with the amazing Dr. DANI Matthews. And this is her return to Inspire. She was here 2 years ago, and she has written the second book in her series called Searching, Memoir of a Runaway Child Running Wild. And she's going to read an excerpt of it a little later on. But again, if you would like a copy of the book, if you want a copy of the book, a t-shirt, and I don't know what else she's going to put in that package, go ahead, put the hashtag Inspire, put it in the chat, and we will do a drawing before we end our time uh, together today. So Harlem.
Yes.
Harlem. So you know what? Before we get into, I would just want to play a snippet. So I thought it was the trailer, and I realized that it was 49 minutes. Like, that's not a
No, I sent you the trailer, and you're in a different package.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
we just we're gonna just watch like a minute or
Okay.
two.
Okay. Cool.
So let's share this, and then you can tell us all about it.
All right. Cool.
Oh, why can't I hear you? Are you muted? Why can't I hear you? Can you hear it?
I cannot.
You cannot. I'm upset about that. Well, while you're telling us about it, let me do some troubleshooting.
Okay.
I'm gonna because I really want individuals to at least see a snippet of it. Hey, listen, Jules, Harlem is in the house.
That's right. Hey, Jules. Jules is in Harlem. Yeah, Harlemite. That's right. She down in the valley. But I met Jules on the Hill years ago. I don't think she even remembers where we first met, but I'll tell her one day. I know where we met.
So yeah, tell us about Harlem while I troubleshoot this.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm gonna put you full screen for a minute so you can talk about it while I do some troubleshooting.
So Harlem is my documentary. By God's grace, I was able last year, like I said, recovering from a stroke, 2 months out from a stroke, to give you the precursor to the movie that my life is going to. It's going to depict my life. It's a biography, but when I tell you it's real and raw, Harlem is the documentary of Sugar Hill. Sugar Hill was an affluent section of Harlem. And back in the day, if you were Black and you lived on Sugar Hill, you were considered to have had it. Broadway, Riverside Drive, Edgecombe Avenue, all of that was up on the hill. So they called it Sugar Hill. It's the very northern part of Harlem, right before you get into Washington Heights. And that's where I was raised. But it also had a significantly large population of drugs, that in the influction of drugs that was put in that particular part of the African American community by design. And when it was all said and done, it was gone. We no longer had Harlem. And I'm talking about doctors and lawyers and actors. And Diane Carroll was 148th Street between Amsterdam and Broadway. Harry Belafonte lived up there. Different people. So I speak about the gentrification, the whole nine. Watch a little bit of it. She didn't put it up, so I'm pretty sure we can hear it now.
The author of Pretty Little Bastard Child, memoir of the darkness that turned on God's light. Today, I'm going to take you on a little journey with me through the 25th anniversary of the Battleground Park reunion. This is more than just a block reunion. This is where all of the darkness in my life started. But thank God for light, and thank God that we're here now. Come on along with me. Meet some of my friends.
And this is the place where it all started. You know, some people think of Harlem as just a vibe, but Harlem was a community. Harlem was a place. Harlem saved my life, and Harlem almost took my life. I'm just real grateful to be a part of it. Still be here to talk about it. Watch your back, baby. So, you know, God is good. Let me go over here and talk with my people. Make my little donation. Eppolino!
Yeah.
Come here, come here.
Yeah,
What's up, baby?
Yes.
I'll be right back. I'm going to give them some donations, and I need to get you on camera with a couple of things about Harlem and about how this place almost took us out and gave us life.
Oh.
All right, be right back. Let me see Vicky. Where Vicky at? Good to see you, baby.
Wow. The blessing day.
Oh, man, look at God. Look.
We're here.
We here.
For a reason.
Yes.
God is looking.
What?
I can cry right now.
Yeah,
We're
that's
here.
right. That's right. Come on, baby.
Yeah, we can have so many things on this, but if we here for a reason.
That's right. That's right. Good to see you, baby.
Listen, we could sit here and watch this whole thing, but I'm not gonna. No, I know we could have did a screening on the spot. We probably could still do that.
Yeah. But don't worry, Volume 2 will be taped July. That was Harlem, the Making of the Monster. Volume 2, we will be taping the weekend of the Battleground reunion, which is usually always the third Saturday in July, and will be Harlem, How I Survived It.
Yeah.
And it goes a little bit more in depth, a little bit more into the decimation of, you know, when the crack era came and the people who survived crack, the people who survived the Doogie epidemic. Some of the guys who got popped and sent away for 25, 30 years just came home because they were selling weed. Like, not even crack, like weed, you know. We're going to get more into that. And then the gentrification of how if you lost or if you didn't have a family member who any longer had properties because of the decimation that happened because of the addictions and the epidemics, you can't afford to buy a burnt out brownstone. You know, like it's burnt out and just the shell is $250,000.
Wow.
Right? You know, who does that? You know, like some families were 4 and 5 and 6 generations in one spot. And for whatever reason, if it was taxes, if it was, you know, the changing of the hands of the landlord and, you know, it was no longer rent subsidy and like several years back, you know, all of those parameters that kept the rents low and stable. And poof, I'm pretty sure you live in
listen, gentrification. I mean, if you walk the streets of Harlem right now, you don't recognize it. I know there's still areas in Harlem.
When did they put this up? Yeah, when I was there last year, I went by one of the crack houses that I used to smoke in.
Wow.
And it was no longer a crack house. It was what was it? They tore it down and built it up to and now I ask people, I said, well, that not one black person lives in that building anymore. And we're talking about Harlem. So.
And the way they used to talk about Harlem bad back in the day, now you're living there.
causing havoc.
And causing havoc. So can you share with us how did the process of making Harlem differ from writing your memoirs?
Well, the process is totally, well, first of all, it wasn't scripted. I wanted it to be real. I wanted it to be raw. I wanted it to be the words of the people who spoke it. No one was paid. No one was prodded to, you know, say, you know, and the things that people said towards me who saw me and my addiction. I mean, again, we get into a little deeper because these are precursors to the movie. And the movie will definitely have actors and it'll be, you know, executive produced, directed, and, you know, all of that stuff by me and several other award-winning directors and actors and so on and so forth. So it will be like the real deal Holyfield, but it'll be the real and raw that's in all three of the series. But the making of that, it was important to let people know that, again, the journey sometimes takes roads. You come to a fork in the road, you don't always know which way. And before GPS, you just, like that, God-centered, today I'm God-centered, but I wasn't always God-centered. My direction wasn't always guided by the right God. At one point, money was my God. And then when I became my best customer, drugs was my God. Sex was my God. I've gone through several different phases that, of course, I'm not proud of them, but I'm proud of me today. I don't have to be proud of what I did, because I'm not. But I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of the person, the woman, the doctor, the actor, the writer, the deacon, the lover, the wife that I am today. And that's what's most important. Yeah, I found it very important to share my journey, because we have little young LGBTQ people out here that are killing themselves. They're jumping off of bridges. They're ODing on these pills. They don't love themselves. They're coming, like HIV is still out there. Hello, somebody help somebody. And they're out here and they doing everything and everybody, because nobody has let them know how important they are yet. And it's important to guide the new generation, to guide the older generation that's still putting their family out in the street and disowning their family because they're gay. Who are you, and who the hell are you to judge that judge? Only God can judge me. And the importance was to go through what I went through, which, I was very candid in the first interview, of relapsing after becoming a deacon, relapsing after, being clean for 20 years and being honest about it. And finally, God got me, and I was ready at that point to go deep, because see, a lot of people have fallen short, but they're not honest about falling short. They still sit up in meetings and share clean time and do all that stuff, and they high as hell. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not one of them people, and I had no choice. It was all over me, and I wanted to live. I wasn't ready to die, so I got it back together, and I said, God, if you get me together this time, I promise, okay, I'm going to use my life as a living testimony, Not going to just say it out my mouth. But share it with the world. So here I am.
You're proud of yourself, and we are proud of you too.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
I'm proud of you too. Thank you so much for sharing. Listen, this reminds me of the importance of us sharing our story.
And being truthful and honest about it.
Transparency saves lives.
You can't sit up on the pulpit every day every Sunday and run Bible study and prayer call, and you ain't never been through nothing, and you expect people to because see, everybody ain't running to God. Let's just say that. A lot of times I have to, but I've always been the outside. Church has never been my four walls. I've always been the church outside. Because my prayer is, by being transparent and by sharing the things that you have possibly gone through with you, and sharing my light, and prayerfully, when I walk out every day, I ask God to allow me to speak a message to someone who needs it. Allow me to hug a stranger. Why not? God did it. Who the hell am I to think that I'm about that? I don't know you. Look, I understand COVID pushed us in. I got it. But are you really back outside? Are you really back outside? Because you could share all of that and how much I'm living and I'm back outside and happy, proud. But are you helping and loving your fellow man as you loving yourself? Just saying. Asking for a friend.
That is a question. If you're just joining us again, we are hanging out with Dr. DANI. And if you have a question for her or a comment, please post it in the chat. We'll make sure that she has the opportunity to respond to it before we end our time together. So you talked about, and I'm glad that you brought up God, because it's a good segue, right?
Mm-hmm.
As you look at searching, as you look at Harlem, as you look at Pretty Little Bastard Child, where do you see God in the way you're telling the story?
God was weaved, man. So let me tell you something. When of course, I go through my editing and stuff, and I got a problem with the person who edited this book. But anyway, that's something down the line. When I look at the twists and turns, okay, God was weaved all through that thing. But I didn't know God. I wasn't raised in a religious household. My mama wasn't a church-going mama. My mama was raised Catholic, but I don't even know how much of the teaching she took along with her, because there's so much stuff going on. And I love my mother. Please, don't nobody misunderstand me. I wish my mother was here today so we could heal together, but I had to heal by myself. I had to work on this thing by myself. But the more I looked at my life, the more I said, you know what? Wow. And when I think of some of the things that I walked out of, that I left people laying dead in, when I think of some of the places that little voice said, all right, it's time to leave. And then I find out that they went in there and busted the whole joint. Next thing you know, everybody in there coming out in handcuffs. But, when I think of all of the unsafe sex, the lasciviousness of my life, and I know for a fact that I slept with several people who had HIV. And I never got it. And God removed me from the street unscathed. You can't tell me that God wasn't all over me, all through my story. I didn't know God. I wasn't raised with a God. But I always heard that little voice. And every time, your mother back in the day, oh, you better follow your first mind, because your first mind always your right mind. No, that first mind is that intuition. That first mind is God's voice. As soon as you let that one go and grab that loud one, ooh, baby. That's the one. God was all through my life then. And I realize as I'm walking on my journey today with God, I realized that he brought me through it so I could be a vessel to those who are still stuck, to those who need a light. Here I am, and no, I'm not Jesus. I'm just Dr. DANI, but I've been through some things, man, and if I could still be loving, if I could still be caring, if I could still, be nurturing, if I could still value humanity, if I could still trust, after all of these things that you have read in this story, that's all true, then you could do it too. And there's a God out here that's willing, open, ready, with open arms. You just got to surrender.
Surrender is that's a difficult thing. Surrendering is, we often see it, right, as giving up of control. But I used to say surrendering is the most, not the courageous thing, but that's where you find strength in surrender.
Well, yeah. But see, we have a saying in the fellowship that I've been affiliated with since 1989. I don't make meetings anymore like I used to, but I remember religiously the teachings. And let me just say to you that until we admit powerlessness, we can't find our power. You have to surrender to win. I think Fantasia said it, sometimes you got to lose to win again, right? Yeah. Until you move you out of the way. And that's simply what admitting your powerlessness and surrendering is all about. I can't do this. God, help me with this. I'm giving it to you. Now, please do whatever you will with it. That's all that means. I'm taking my hands off of it. It might be my child that's wayward. It might be addiction. It might be the job that got me up to here, and I'm ready to quit, but I got to pay my bills. I mean, so if I truly surrender, listen, I'm done. I'm not stressing over this no more.
Mhm.
Now, God, you said in your word that you would do certain things in your promises, and I'm moving out of the way so you can do those things. However, this is the problem with surrender.
Mm.
This is what I found. We surrender it, but we're still expecting things to go in a certain way, right? But once I surrender it to God, it's not going to come back void. That's not going to happen. But it might not turn out the way that I thought it's going to turn out. Now, acceptance of he might be turning me all the way around to the left. That's where that thing, that powerlessness has to come in, and you have to live in a place of humility, because it might not work out the way that you thought it was supposed to work out, but that's the way that God would have it. You know, and it's always not. What I had to learn is not happening to me; it's happening for me, even if I don't see the value in it right away. What am I doing down in Tennessee today? I came down here to see Jill Scott, but guess what we found out when we got down here? It's the CMA Festival going on in Nashville, Tennessee. Whoo! So all weekend long, we've been dealing with that. And it ain't like boots on the ground. No. Baby, let me tell you, when I tell you prejudice is alive and well in this country.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, boy,
Yeah.
no more Tennessee. Okay, we're good. I'll stay up north. I'm good. Okay,
So do us a favor, and I'm not even going to go to break, but do us a favor and read the excerpt that you chose from the book. I'm going to put you full screen, okay?
Gotcha. So this is chapter 4, The Perfect Storm. There are a bunch of little issues within my head which had me, quite frankly, bugging out. I was a tween, early teen, first off. That's a ball of confusion in itself for young girls. Menstrual cycle, peer pressure, not quite high school student yet, the rites of passage stuff, to wear makeup, to not wear makeup. Of course, I didn't have that issue because I was a devout tomboy. No confusion here. I was such a tomboy that there was no way I wanted to be that girly, okay? But the confusion I did have was daunting in itself. I needed to get past this burning desire to know if I was gay or to even figure it out. I really wasn't attracted to men. I knew that for years. I knew what society and the church folks preached, all of the stuff that they beat people like me down with, but I also knew what my body, mind, and spirit was telling me. The fact that by now I had too many negative encounters with men didn't help it either. But I really needed to have a positive interaction with a boy/man that wouldn't leave me in tears or with guilt, shame, fear, feeling dirty, or better yet, angry and violated. But I knew I was attracted to women. So searching.
Y'all go get this book. Get the book. Let them know where before we end our time, I'm going to put that link in the chat for them to be able to get it. Thank you so much for sharing that excerpt. It makes you want to read more. So thank you so much for sharing that. Again, if you want a copy of the book, you want a t-shirt, you want that package that Dr. Dani is so graciously agreed to give away, put #inspire, and we will.
It's a $70 value, y'all. A $70 value.
$70 value.
$70 value.
Go ahead and put that in the chat, and we will do a drawing before we end our time together. So, of course, friend, it is Pride Month, right? And it's Black Music Month. And so all throughout this June, we're going to be talking a lot about voice and belonging and liberation. And so you shared a little bit about growing up in Harlem, but when you think about growing up in Harlem, like the stoops, the block parties, the radio, like what music?
Sorry, y'all, I'm sweating. Menopause. Right. Go ahead. I ain't got no fan. Go ahead. On the ground. Go on. Go ahead, boy. Go ahead, block parties, music. Go ahead, girl.
Can you share with us what music was around you and how did Black music
Oh, I
help
love
you
my wife. I love
survive?
my wife. Thank you, baby. Appreciate you. Jesus. I'm sorry. I just had a private son. I haven't had one like that in a long time. Oh,
It is
God.
all right.
That's nothing but the devil. Go on, finish that question. All right. Go ahead.
What music was around you growing up and how did Black music help you survive what you were living through?
Well, again, like I said, I knew of gospel music, but it wasn't played in my house. Every other type of music was played in my house. Once in a while, gospel music might have blasted out of the speakers, but we had jazz. I went to music school as a kid, so we had and dance. So, I was aware of all different music. My first boy crush was Foster Silvers, who, God rest in peace, just passed away last week. Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5, Mahalia Jackson every now and then, the Clark sisters, because I was in the clubs when I was like 12, 13 years old. So that's when You Bought the Sunshine came out. And what people didn't realize was that was a gospel song being played in the clubs. People was out there stomping and getting their groove on. I want to thank you, Heavenly Father, Alicia Myers. Heavenly Father is who? Our Father, right? This was being played in the clubs. They got shunned by the gospel community because they went where they were supposed to go to tell the people who were still in the dark about the goodness of God. But it was jazz in my house. It was Coltrane. It was Miles Davis. It was the Jacksons. It was the Beatles. It was Steely Dan. It was the Doobie Brothers. Jesus, you name it. I knew a gamut of music. Ambrosia. I mean, the list goes on.
Sukiyaki.
That part. I knew of Joni Mitchell, Joan Baez, Jimi Hendrix, everything. You were liable. And see, my mother was a mulatto child. So everything was always, I had always a balance in white and black, which was, part of the blessing also, but it was also part of the curse. So.
Thank you for sharing that. So we also talk a lot about joy. And I love to ask my guests about joy. So in the midst of relapse, recovery, writing, directing, telling the truth about monsters and miracles, right? Where does joy show up for you right now? What's making you laugh, smile, and dance these days?
Joy shows up for me in many different ways. Today, I can just go, and I usually don't have time for it when I'm not on vacay, but joy comes to me in getting to the water and just putting my feet in it. Joy comes to me when I'm hugging a tree. Joy comes to me when I'm watching a sunset. Joy comes to me when I know that I'm telling my story and it's going to heal and help thousands and thousands of people. And now I just got the green light to put it on the big screen. That is such a joyful part of my life, because for a long time, Sue, woe is me. Like, why, God? Why? I didn't ask for this. This wasn't my fault. What's going on here? This ain't what I signed up for. Even my mother died. I was clean. My mother died. And then I became a parent of 3 siblings. The oldest one hated my guts, because she was traumatized by my addiction, but, the joy of knowing that I have a good relationship with all of them now, the joy of being married to my wonderful wife for going on 9 years. We were just talking about it,
Wow, 9 years. Congratulations.
And I ain't cheating today. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's joyful. It's good to know that I'm not, I ain't got to watch my back and sneak around and all that stuff. Because what people don't realize about joy is it's an inside job. It's in the journey. You know, it's in the journey, and all of this is part of my journey, you know, and the joy is in the journey. Like, I can honestly say, going on 62 years old and very proud of it, that I have lived. I have lived. If God took me and closed my eyes tomorrow, I can't say that I have traveled all over the world. I have walked on countries that half of the people I grew up with can't even leave the block now still because they got a record. They can't even get a passport. I've been to Europe. I've been to all different islands. I've been to Hawaii. You know, I mean, me, little crackhead, pretty little bastard child that slept on park benches and ate out of garbage cans. Me, yeah. That brings me joy. That's not being braggadocious. That brings me joy. Like, wow. You know, I'm not rich. I'm not famous. I'm just Dr. Danny. But I'm happy today. On most given days, you can't steal what God gave me. You ain't give this joy to me. You know?
Listen, this has been so good. This has been so good. And you know, can you believe we're at time when we have a good conversation, that time quickly? Yeah. But I do want to make sure that you get this question from Lakeisha. She says, how do you navigate business ventures being such an authentic person and remaining authentic with the world having society's expectations?
That's my Nisi Poo boy. Like. She know how to answer them questions. Nisi Poo, I'm gonna see you in a few hours, girl. I'm going to see Nisi Poo. I can't be in Tennessee and not go see Nisi Poo. Lakeisha, how do I navigate it? Well, as you know, and I'm going to direct this to Lakeisha, but to everybody listening also. Last year, I was recognized by a Mental Health Me organization down in Atlanta, a group of different people who advocate for mental health. And as you well know, that's me. And the thing that I think touched everybody when I was awarded was when I got up and I received my award. And I simply said, I'll accept this for every LGBTQI plus youth who had to go lay under a park bench because their family put them out instead of trying to find a way to communicate with them. Yeah. Right? I am going to always walk into the room my authentic, unapologetic, unbothered, unbogged down self. Now, if you choose to sit there and judge me and miss what God is sitting in the room to you through me, that ain't my problem. So that's how I navigate my business. I mean, I don't walk into the room and say, hey, y'all, I'm gay, but like, you know, I'm not hiding it either, you know, but if you choose to look past what your flesh wants to judge and see the spirit in me that God has put there, you might have a lasting relationship with somebody who's a hustling fool who could take your business to the next level. Because you know our hustles, you know, so as long as you know me, everything I touch is successful. Everything.
Yeah. Well, thank you for answering that question. Thank you for hanging out with us. We're getting ready to do this drawing. Let's see. I don't want you to miss your opportunity. So if you have not already put the hashtag inspire in the chat, I want to give you just, 1 or 2 seconds to go ahead and throw that in there if you want a copy of the book. Go ahead and cool down yourself. If you want a copy of the book and a t-shirt, I want to give you that opportunity to go ahead and put that hashtag inspire.
Yes, it will be an autographed copy, y'all. Autographed copy is over $50 value, so you know. I know everybody need a little extra help. It's in the book. It's in the book.
All right, we have who we're gonna have. Let's do this drawing. Minister Sandy Hudson.
That was the winner last time. You remember that? Yeah. She won last time. Girl, Minister Sandy, you must have needed part 2 of that book, girl. I remember. Yep, she won last time. Yes, she did. All right. Well, get our address.
Sandy, well, yeah, you're right. If
Minister Sandy,
if you have a different address, let us know. But I think you still have that address, Dr. Danny. Just send the address
I do
again.
not.
Send the address
Send
again.
the address,
Okay.
shirt size, and yeah, and we'll get you the book.
Yeah.
We'll get it as soon as I get back home. It'll be in the mail.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Kathy. Hi, Kathy. She got there too late. Next time. Next time. Thank you, my dear friend, for hanging out with us. Tell the people where to find you.
You could find me at well, I just changed my name on some of my stuff, but it hasn't clicked over yet. I'm at authordanny.d3 on Instagram, www.authordannyd.com. It's my website if you want to buy the books. Danielle Matthews, Danielle Dubois Matthews on Facebook, author speaker Danny 64 on Instagram. But if you just put in author Danny, I pops up.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Girls and boys.
Yes, family. So thank you all for joining us. If today's conversation touched you in any type of way, if it touched a tender place inside of you, if it maybe surfaced some memories that you haven't spoken and questions that you're still working through, please remember you don't have to carry it alone. Reach out to a therapist, reach out to a trusted friend, someone who can hold you and hold space for you without judgment. Reach out to, there's some mental health professionals in the audience today. Reach out to them. And as always, if you are in a crisis, of course, it's not National Suicide Month, but we're going to put it anyway. Text or call 988. Text or call 988. That is the suicide and crisis hotline. And it's not just for someone who's having suicide ideation. If you're having a crisis in your life and you're just feeling overwhelmed and you need to talk to somebody, please go ahead and put that in. Please go ahead and call or text 988. And as we continue throughout this month, Pride Month and Black Music Month, I want you to carry this with you. I just want you to know that your story is not messy, right? You're not broken. You're not, you are fearlessly and fabulously made. Your queerness, your Blackness, your faith, your questions, none of them disqualifying you from being loved, for being used. You're not an afterthought. You're not a mistake. Listen, I need you to know that you are loved, you are needed, and you belong here. So thank you for joining us. I look forward to seeing you again next week as we continue our celebration.
I'm sorry, there was somebody at my door. I had to go.
Okay.
I didn't want them to start knocking on the door while we're doing the podcast.
Oh no, it's fine.
When you're in the hotel, right?
I could have edited it out. It's fine. But I was just saying goodbye to everyone.
Well, okay.
So yeah.
I just got one more thing to say.
Go ahead and say that, and then we're gonna close out.
Your trauma is not your fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's your healing. That's your responsibility.
Yeah.
And don't let nobody steal your joy. It's so very important once you get to a place of peace to glow in it, walk in it, and live in it.
Yeah.
I love y'all.
That is such a good place to end. And I do want to end with, let me just get this video file. I want to end with this with your song.
Oh yeah.
So let me go ahead and upload that because we are very excited to hear this new single. This one is Miracle, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're gonna take you out with a little miracle today. As soon as it uploads. There it is.
You won't be long before you find yourself in all of a miracle. You won't be long before you find yourself in all of a miracle. It won't be long before you find yourself in all of a miracle. Many days have come and gone, and you think your life's passed you by. You see folks all around you getting theirs, and you start to wonder why. Deep inside you know it's on the way, but just